Oh,
first.
there's a news story on
Oh, we're
ABC
streaming.
about
Who's been touching who
a
now?
bird that got stuck in the
Oh God, this is
apparently a
sad.
bird hit a plane right on
Bird
the nose
strike.
and dented the front of the plane and embedded its like neck all the way through like the plane. So it's this plane landed with a dead bird hanging out of it.
The next time I see you making that face, I'm not gonna ask why. Now I know. I know better
I'm,
now.
What would have
I'm
been
both
funny is
disgusted
if the
about
plane,
the.
when the plane came to a halt, the like inertia made like an egg pop out of the bird's ass.
That'd be pretty cool.
That would have
I'm
been
both
fun.
disgusted in the story and the fact that ABC News thought, "Oh, this is newsworthy."
Yeah. Donald Trump will probably be tweeting about it.
Yeah.
Like fake news.
To be fair,
Birds can't go through planes. That's terrorism.
I would
Ban brown
prefer
people.
the bird to Donnie.
Who doesn't? I would prefer kissing a bird with swine flu to that guy. And bird flu at the same
I was gonna
time.
say that's an adventurous bird to get swine flu.
Yeah. Hopefully nobody's watching this because we're streaming this now. So any Donald Trump voters who are watching, just stop. Right, okay, let's do a podcast.
All right.
That's what I like to hear, Matt. Enthusiasm.
Is my sound okay?
You sound beautiful,
What?
Kelsey. Stop asking.
You sound
You've
good.
got you've got a new microphone. You've had it for a couple of weeks now. You need to stop big timing us, okay? How do I sound? I sound beautiful, don't I? La 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 la.
I'm just worried.
You can say all your weird like ways of like whatever it is paying for.
A toonie and a loony?
Yeah. The fuck. Or what was it? In
A
Welsh,
double-double?
in Welsh,
Took.
it's doi.
A double double is a hamburger at In-N-Out.
No, it's
It
2
is.
creams, 2 sugars at Tim Hortons.
No, my God, I'm so sorry, but you could not be further from.
All right.
No,
Let's save this debate for another podcast. We've already gone through talking trousers.
I think
Part
it
of
goes
talking
well on
games.
this show. It's a
Talking
discussion for this
Timmies.
podcast.
Talking Timmers. Okay. All right. Let's do this. Let me just reply to this.
Hey, should I start recording? I'm kidding.
I hate you, Matt. Right. Shush. Quiet on set.
Hi, everybody. Sorry.
From Talking Comics, this is.
Hey, you want to take a week?
I gotta go.
You can have the show for a
God,
while.
no. It takes enough of my mental acumen to do this. Not that it's particularly taxing, but, you know, I'm old. Right, okay, let's do a podcast. I've said that about 5 minutes ago, but we didn't start a podcast. Thanks, man. I was just about to start a podcast then. From Talking Comics, this is Matt breathing.
Is this a daily podcast?
Yeah, hopefully I'll stop soon. Right, okay, let's go. Hello, everybody. It is Thursday, the 16th of November. Happy Thanksgiving to you all you Americans. Everybody else, stop lollygagging and do some freaking work. This
Hugh,
is.
Hugh, it's not Thanksgiving.
Is it not?
That's next week. That's next week.
Oh, you thought Thanksgiving was today. Or
I'm
tomorrow.
so sorry, Hugh. I messed you up because I talked about Thanksgiving in Discord just to prepare, but I was just planning ahead.
I should know this because
I'm
I have
so
to
sorry.
work late on Black Friday, which is next Friday.
Oh, wow. So that's even though you don't have Thanksgiving, it's just some random Friday for you guys?
Yeah, thanks for that.
Weird.
You're welcome.
We have Black Friday too here, and it's not Thanksgiving either.
That's crazy.
We're
I
British.
thought.
We're never
Yeah.
thankful.
Well, I'm sorry that our holiday caused you guys to have Black Friday.
Oh yeah, the first.
Well, Canada's used to it, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not apologizing to Canada.
The first year we did it properly, for want of a better term, it was chaos like it is in the States, and then I think people were very British about it and were like, that's a bit much. And then the next year it was really pedestrian. So okay, let's try that again then, shall we? It is not Thanksgiving. It might be Thanksgiving somewhere. Someone's thankful.
It could be.
Yeah.
Is this still the podcast?
No.
Are you sure? Who's editing?
Sam's gonna have to edit about half an hour of our recording.
Okay.
Sam, you know what the right thing to do is here.
Please don't. Okay. I'm gonna get the giggles now. Hello, everybody. It is Thursday, November 16th, and you are listening to episode 172 of the Talking Games podcast. My name is Hugh, and I have three lovely co-hosts this week. Well, two and Matt. And hello,
Say
Matt.
that to all the girls.
Say hello, Matt. Come on, say hello.
Oh, hey.
There you go.
Good morning.
I am with Miss Sam Suvak
Hello.
and Miss Kelsey Labate.
Hello.
So yeah, me and Kelsey have been we've talked a lot today. Because I
Make it seem like we never talk. We talked a lot.
yeah, but you know, even more so than usual. Purely on the basis of the fact that Tim Hortons opened in Cardiff yesterday, so it was like a little bit of Canada came to my hometown. So I've been eating and live reviewing Timbits for the last few hours via text with Kelsey, and as a result, I gave myself heartburn. So a little life tip for you: do not eat 10 Timbits as well as your evening dinner, because it will mess with your guts.
Can we play a game where Sam and I try to guess who Tim Horton is?
Yes.
Oh my god, Kelsey's
I'm
so excited right
honored.
now. You guys can't even see her face. She's like so excited.
I
Oh
don't
my
even
God.
know who he is. He just makes coffee, doesn't he?
Okay, so he's like a celebrity that started a restaurant, right?
Oh.
He
No
is
more
a
hints. No more hints.
Known person that started a restaurant.
Semi-known, yeah.
It's like
Okay.
Canadian 20 questions. Like, they have to be yes or no questions. So, yeah, that was
That's
one
a game.
question.
Talking games. This is a game.
Okay. Are we just how are we doing this, Matt? Because I mean, I have
Hugh,
something.
Hugh can play as well if he has no
Yeah.
idea who Tim is.
Is he male? Bingo.
Okay.
I don't know why I kind of had a feeling.
The answer is so obvious, though. Like, that's the
Is he a retired hockey player?
very...
Yeah,
Oh my God.
there it is.
Kelsey's just like cracking up right now.
Is
He
he?
is!
There you go.
Ah.
Boom,
Oh,
shakalaka.
man.
Horton.
This would have been a fun game if it wasn't
I know.
Canada. That's their only like.
No,
if you
I
want to
had
be
a
a success in Canada, put
Now
the skis on.
apologise for that, Kelsey.
You guys, I had a really fun story ready. I was gonna say Tim Horton was a Mountie in like the 1920s, and the French royal family had come over to visit Canada. They got lost in the mountains, and he's the Mountie that saved them, and like that's his claim to fame. I mean, that makes a much better story.
His actual name is Tim Horton.
Exactly.
No, he's not Quebec. He's not Quebecois.
I was going to go with a member of Rush or the Bare Naked Ladies. He was
he's
in a
not Geddy
comedy
Lee.
troupe with John Candy and Rick Moranis.
Nice.
Oh man, wouldn't it be cool if Geddy Lee opened a coffee shop? That would be really cool. You could just sit in a corner playing some sick bass while you're drinking your coffee and eating your Geddy bits.
You're getting bits.
That sounds
But-
You know,
that sounds
Hockey,
even more
man.
suggestive than Timbits.
It does.
What hockey team did he play for? Maple Leafs? Okay.
Oh, God.
Why are we
Jesus.
laughing? I don't know why
The most
that's funny.
predictable country in the world.
Oh, it
Guys,
is,
now
it's
we
true.
know the secret to making Kelsey laugh. Like if you ever need it.
Yeah, just those stereotypical Canadian things. Did he bathe in
I
maple
love
syrup?
it.
Yeah.
like the Canadian
Does he love
Cleopatra.
Labatt Blue?
She's just nodding now.
Okay, right then. Let's do some lightning rounds, shall we? Let's have a look. Matthew, because you haven't added your stuff to the doc, which I filled in with some random old games, probably, you are going to go first.
I thought Matt had put that in there.
No, actually, I not old games. I don't think. The only thing I got is the Mario Imagination Studios. The Despicable Me folks are making a Mario movie, or looks like they're making a Mario movie, which is not that big of a surprise because Universal and Nintendo now have a bit of a partnership. That studio is in-house at Universal, so it just kind of seems like makes sense. But yeah, it looks like we're getting an animated Mario movie probably, which I am okay with.
Yeah, I'm quite happy as long as it does. They can't bring back Bob Hoskins because he's
dead,
expired.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. As long as they don't go down that route, then I'll be happy.
Here's the thing, though. Oh, go ahead, Sam.
Do you think they'll have like Mario and crew speaking in English, or do you think it'll be more of like a Minions where they don't really talk?
They just have like gibberish or whatever.
Yeah, or whatever.
Oh, lasagna. I don't know, because like, do you cast him like with someone else, or do you just give Charles Martinet the like how you've been doing Mario voices in the video games for 30 years? Do you just hire him as a star? Because I mean, he's not really a star; he just does Mario voices. I don't know where they can.
I can't imagine Mario sounding like anybody else, though. I'm not sure I'd want him to.
Yeah, at this point, especially this is going to be classic animated Mario. You come with a certain level of expectation. Like if he's all of a sudden like sounds like Bill Hader, it's going to be weird.
But I don't know that I could sit through a full movie of Mario video game voice Mario. You know, that's a little. I don't know.
That's the weird thing. I mean, there's not much of a plot here. I mean, but you know, you can always just point at the Lego Movie and say they made that thing work.
That's true. That's true.
So, I don't. Angry Birds worked. That was a popular movie that had decent reviews that made money. So, who could say Mario? If they were going to do it, at least it's animated. And Kelsey disagrees.
She is so angry. She just left.
Yeah.
Oh,
she's resetting. Don't panic.
She's back.
Kelsey apparently is a little biased towards the live action 1993 Mario movie, and is upset that we never actually got a sequel. When this is actually kind of a weird little non sequitur, but it's it's my lightning round. When I first started talking comics, I interviewed
Was your lightning round?
No, I interviewed an artist that had collaborated with someone to make a sequel to that 1993 Mario movie in a comic book form.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I think they had like finished it. They made it as like a web comic. And it was pretty. It looked like, you know, it fit the aesthetic, but I don't know. I don't think anybody was in too much demand for a sequel to that movie.
That was such a weird movie.
I wouldn't necessarily say it was bad, but it was certainly a weird, bizarre movie.
I know I saw it, but I really don't remember anything from it.
That's fine, Sam.
But I mean, I was young, so.
You could, just carry on living your life in that vein, and you won't regret it.
It was just really strange because, like, especially as thin of a well to draw stories from as Mario is now, it was even thinner in 1993, and they just went in some very strange directions. That like Koopa was like, was he trying to like de-evolve mammals or something like that? I
think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah,
but
and he was played by Dennis Hopper, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's probably Dennis Hopper. Had a pretty decent cast.
John Leguizamo as Luigi.
Terrible movie. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was a weird one, but
yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah. That's all I really got as far as like anything video game related.
It's quite all right.
I played more Mario. It's a good game.
It is a good game. It really is a good game. Right then, Samwise, I'm quite interested to hear what you've got to talk about. So 3 minutes and go.
All right, so I downloaded South Park Phone Destroyer, which is a mobile game. And it's like a real-time strategy collectible card game, which I'd never played anything like that, but I was kind of getting into it. I was like, this is cool. You know, you put your different characters down to attack and do stuff. I was like, it's fine. It's fun. But then I started thinking about it. So the first level that you play, the kids are dressed up and they're playing cowboys and Indians. And like, the more I thought about it, I was like, I don't know that I feel good about like a game that's playing cowboys and Indians. It's just like, that's not really the most appropriate thing, you know, like the way when we were little, that was something that we did because we didn't know any better. But now, like with Native Americans and thinking about how they're represented and portrayed, it kind of feels like it just kind of gave me a little in my stomach. I was like, I don't think I want to play this. So maybe I'm hoping that maybe further in the game, like one of the kids is like, hey, we shouldn't be doing this. Let's play something else. And that would make me feel good. But no, I know, like South Park is there's always going to be something to offend somebody. Yeah. So it just took me this long to find something. But anyway, so I'm not playing that anymore. And then there's this game called Bury Me, My Love, which is also a mobile game. And I'd heard about it on the Polygon show and downloaded it. And then yesterday I heard out it was nominated in the Game Awards for Indie of the Year, which is pretty cool. So this game, it's like text messages back and forth between this couple. One is a woman who's trying to get out of Syria, and you're playing as like her partner, who I guess is in the US or is somewhere, you know, safe out of the way. And it's just texting back and forth so far. And like nothing bad has happened yet. But just based on the title of the game, I feel like something horrible is going to happen. So like the whole time I'm very nervous about getting these texts and like seeing where she is in her journey and what's happening. So we'll see what's going to go with it. It's kind of like a real time. So you can set it to just go all at once, or you can just leave it and like she'll text you something. She's like, oh, I'm about to get on the bus. I'll talk to you later. And then the game will just sit there for, you know, 45 minutes, an hour, whatever, until the next time she texts you. So I'm trying to just be patient and let it play out naturally. We'll see how long that lasts, but it's interesting so far, and I think it'll be a really impactful story. So going through that, and then so the third one is the Dauntless Beta. Cody got some codes to get us into the closed beta, so I tried that out, and it doesn't have controller support right now, so I am doing mouse and keyboard, which I hate. So I've played a little bit of it. The fun thing is you can make your character, and first off, you just pick two ancestors, and so they've got just I'm sorry, I'm going to keep going just a little bit longer.
It's fine.
So you pick from just like these characters that are there, and like it's kind of mixes them together to give you like a base character, like you're descended from these two people, and then you can go through and edit and do fine tweaks for whatever you want. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then you just go into this world and you're gathering resources and then fighting giant monsters. And I did the first one, and I don't even know how I survived it. It was so rough because like me walking with the keyboard is just horrible. But somehow I managed to defeat it. I went to the village, got some quests, got some upgrades, and then it sent me on my next journey where I finally got to group up with some people. So I had two buddies with me on the second hunt, and it went a lot better when there's buddies with you, because I mean someone's distracting the monster, you can kind of heal a little bit, it just works a lot better with a hunting party rather than just one person. So Hugh, I think Cody gave you a code for this one too?
He did, yeah. I've downloaded it, I just haven't had a chance to try it yet. From what you said, it's a bit different to what I was expecting it to be honest. I thought it was like, it sounds like it's a little bit like Evolve, but it's not as much like Evolve as I thought, which I'm pleased about.
I think it's mostly more like Monster Hunter World, I think.
Yeah. So that I was completely just wrong in my expectation of the game. So I would After hearing you talk about it, I think I will be more inclined to have a go with it. But since, like, over the weekend I was playing other stuff, so which I'll talk about momentarily. So, but yeah, that sounds really cool. I like the sound.
Come play with me, because I don't want to play too much by myself.
Yeah,
but if you're with me, I would enjoy it more.
We'll give it a go on the weekend sometime.
Cool.
Right, I shall go next. I've been playing Star Wars Battlefront 2 a lot. I started playing last weekend because I subscribed to the EA Origins thing, and they got like a 10-hour trial on there. So I was just playing the multiplayer until I crumbled and played the little bit of the story mission, campaign rather, that's on there. But now, because I pre-ordered the game, I've got full access to it on PS4, and I'm really enjoying the storyline so far. If you're a Star Wars fan, it does some really cool things and drops some little tidbits of information into like the lore that kind of makes you go, that's cool. It looks amazing. Like, the graphics in that game are stunning. Like, I was absolutely...
What are you playing it on?
Now I've actually, like, my bought version of the game is on PS4, but the trial I was playing on PC, it looks incredible on PC. Like, on ultra, like, full graphics, 1080p, it just looks nuts. Like, what that game looks like in 4K, it must be mind-blowing. But yeah, the campaign is really cool. Set pieces are like really like stunning, like really well staged. One or two of them go on a little bit longer than they should. They kind of like overstay their welcome, and you kind of like, you get to the end of one bit and then it starts another bit and you're like, really? Like, you're stringing this out a little bit. But so far I'm enjoying it. But there's other things surrounded by that game which we'll talk about in a bit. I also bought, on the back of what Justin said last week, Assassin's Creed Origins. Now, I'm not someone who's a fan of Assassin's Creed Origins because I don't like I've never got on with the controls. They always frustrated the hell out of me, and I hated it where I'd be climbing up something and then your character would just be like, I don't want to be climbing up this anymore. I'm just going to jump the fuck off. But this one, because of when it's set, there's not that much in the way of high buildings to climb, and when you are climbing, it works really well. And I'm really enjoying it. Like, it's that's another game that looks absolutely gorgeous. I'm playing it on my PC, so I've got the graphics like as good as they'll get. Not too keen on the fact that they've got in-game purchases for loot boxes, but I'm not going to touch that stuff. So you know, I'm going to vote with my inaction in that respect. But yeah, everything Justin said about it last week is completely true. It's just gorgeous. It's got this tons to do. The map is huge. Like, I would say it's probably equal on a scale to maybe like Horizon. Like, it's a big map. Tons of life to the world, and just like, it's interesting. The story's really cool as well. It's got like a really cool father and son type thing to it, and it's quite sad as well. So I recommend that, and I never thought I'd see the day I'd recommend an Assassin's Creed game. I started Horizon Zero Dawn Frozen Wilds. I played it for about 45 minutes to an hour. So far I've just played enough of it to go, wow, this looks beautiful, which I don't like, is no surprise because that game is stunning. And I got my Switch back. Yay!
Yay!
And I, just a little side note, Nintendo's service in terms of fixing stuff, when they sent my Switch back to me, they actually extended my warranty by a year, which I thought was pretty cool. So yeah, I was quite pleased with that. But yeah, the irony being, I haven't really touched it much because I've been playing other stuff. I switched it on, loaded up Mario Odyssey because I wanted to see if my saves and that were still there, which they were. And I kind of like, I loaded it up uploaded it into, I think I was still on like New Donk, and I just kind of left it there. And I never noticed before that, like, if you leave Mario long enough, he goes to sleep, and he starts sleep talking. But he starts, like, he says like the name of like pastas in his sleep.
Oh yeah, it's classic, man. He's been doing that since the 64.
So yeah, I that just amused me greatly. So
yeah,
that's me. Right, Kelsey, you get to go. I'm guessing that cheesy. Yes.
Do I go?
Yeah. Well, you didn't say yes. You just smiled. Okay, go.
I haven't been doing much because finals are approaching, and I have a shit ton of essays to do. So I've only been playing Mario, really. But I did get a chance to try the co-op mode to finish the game. We were in the Luncheon Kingdom, me and my friend, and I decided to try co-op with her because I wanted to see what it's like. I don't normally play co-op games, so I was excited to at least try it, and I knew the Mario one was like pretty cool, but I wasn't sure how it was going to work and if we were both going to have fun, one playing Mario, one playing Cappy. But we did end up really having a lot of fun, and I think because we did co-op in those last few levels, it helped me beat the game a bit faster because she was able to focus on certain things and I was able to focus on other things. So, for example, like enemies that I don't really want to pay attention to because I have to focus on like rolling boulders, or for the Luncheon Kingdom, for example, like rolling peppers. And it was good to have her there to like take care of minor characters like that were coming to hit me, but like I wasn't really paying attention to them. But the shitty thing is that like once you take over the character, you only one player gets to play. So that was a bit like not annoying, but kind of boring for the other person. And then I ended up beating the game. I'm not going to talk about it because I don't want to spoil. Just that it was really cool. I like the ending, so I'm after the credits now. I'm not as intense as Matt and Justin.
No, you're not.
But I'm determined. Like, my boyfriend's like, you're ridiculous. You're never going to get, during finals, you're never going to get that many moons. But I'm determined. I'm going to do it. I'm in the Mushroom Kingdom now. And every time I look at something, I'm like, oh man, that's another moon that I didn't notice previously. And I'm like, no kidding, they have like 500 moons. I'm just running around. I don't even notice like half of them.
It's like you walked past a random bush moon. Congratulations.
Yeah. But sometimes I look and I'm like, this looks like a moon would be here. So for example, like in the Mushroom Kingdom, there was just this tree with like the raccoon tail. I forgot what the raccoon's called there.
Tanuki.
Yeah, exactly. And so it had a tail, and I was like, oh, there's for sure a moon here. Like, so I climbed, and then I got to the top, and there was no moon, so I was like, okay, what the hell? So I just walked away.
Throw your hat at the tail and let it spin.
Yes, I know, I did it after you spoiled everything. That was my story.
I'm not the one talking about the Mushroom Kingdom.
That was my story. You throw it at the branch. It's not even funny anymore.
I actually just remembered the one thing I did do on Mario Odyssey when I loaded it up, seeing as how my Switch would now connect online, was, and because I was in New Donk, I could look at the leaderboards for the jump rope and the RC car challenge. So I tried to jump rope. I got to about 45, tried it a few more times. I was like, this is frustrating. I won't bother anymore. I was like, I know what I'll do. I'll go over to the RC car thing and see how I can do over there. Because Justin said, he was like, oh, I've got like the #1 spot right now. Because I've got like, he's around about like just over 24 seconds. I beat him by about half a second. So currently I'm top.
And good job, Hugh.
Don't announce that. You're going to drive him crazy.
Screen cap. Oh, he knows. I sent it to him the second it happened. So, and he was just like, yeah, I just did it for the moon. I was like, yeah, all right, mate. He was like, I'm not competitive. Really?
Sam, do you still hate that game?
I never hated that game.
I think that's what you said last week.
I said I like it a lot, but I don't love it as much as everybody else loves it.
And because of that, I hate it. That's right? That's what.
No, that's not how it works.
Sam the gaming hipster.
What? Do hipsters hate Mario?
Well, you know, they like things that nobody else does.
Is Kelsey confirming that?
Yes.
Well, the hipsters are terrible. Who hates Mario?
Yeah, no.
He's an innocent.
It's because he's mainstream and sold out, man. Right. Okay. So we've got quite a few news items to get through this week. We're gonna start with a couple of shitty ones, and then we're gonna get to happy ones. So basically, if you didn't hear this week, I'm gonna sort of give a very abridged version of events. It basically came out, someone did a bit of research into how long it would take you to unlock the locked heroes in Star Wars Battlefront 2. And they basically worked out to get the 40,000 credits you need to unlock Vader without spending real money on loot boxes, which on average usually give you some in-game credits as a reward. They worked out that if you're a competent, a mid-level player, because you get credits depending on how well you do in the game, it would take you 40 hours without spending any credits on anything else in the game to get enough credits to unlock Vader. And understandably, people were like, okay, that's really annoying. And then there was DICE posted a thing about progression on Reddit, which basically didn't really go particularly well for them. It became the most downvoted post in Reddit history by, I think, about 15 to 20 times more downvotes than the previous worst. And then I think basically the best way to put it was EA have backpedaled so much recently that they probably could have done the Tour de France backwards. Because basically then they came out and they were like, right, we're going to reduce how much credits you need to unlock these heroes by about 75%. So to unlock Vader, you've gone down from 40,000 credits to 15. But by which time, people who were already annoyed because of what happened with the pay-to-win issue were already, obviously pissed off again, understandably. And people were starting to refund the game on EA Origin on the PC. And it got to the point where there was so many people trying to refund the game that there was a 60-minute wait to go into EA's live chat online. So then EA thought it would be wise to remove the refund button and encourage people to go on a phone line. So basically, they kind of shot themselves in the foot a hell of a lot. Personally, I was already of the mindset that I wasn't going to spend any real money on this game anyway. I'm glad EA addressed what people were angry about, but to me, once you've already annoyed your player base, you got to be careful to make sure you don't do it again, because people aren't stupid, and the way it was all very underhand. And the fact of the matter is, with the volume of gaming journalism and so on and so forth out there, and there was already a magnifying glass on this game, someone at some point was going to figure out how tough it was to unlock these the heroes in the game. So EA just basically shot them. Well, they didn't just shoot themselves in the foot. They basically like removed their legs up to the hips, I think.
I think the biggest, well, I mean, there's a lot of problems with this. I think the whole backpedaling and like reducing the point value by 75% is a bit insulting, because it's not fixing the mistake. It's just making the mistake more bearable. At this point, they're reducing it to a point where they're still going to be making money off of it, and not solving the problem that most people have with the product. They're also, I mean, it's Star Wars, so they're going to be appealing to such a mass audience that I would say probably somewhere between 60 to 80% of the people that buy this game don't know about this stuff at all, don't care, probably wouldn't be spending the DLC money anyway. But at the same time, they're buying a thinner product than they probably anticipate. I don't know. I just feel like initially when I started hearing about the loot box stuff and I played the beta, I thought to myself, well, I don't care. I don't care because I'm not an excellent player. It's not that big important to me. But as time has gone on and like just small things have been adding up, it just, I don't know. Like I'm still gonna buy the game, still gonna play the game, but I don't know. I don't feel like I'm going to come back to it as much as I did the first one. I've heard things like, I've heard the complaint that apparently the point values you get for playing is based predominantly on time spent as opposed to how well you do. So that's problematic already, because even if you are excellent, it's not like you're getting to Vader that much more quicker. You might get a few more points. If it's anything like Battlefront 1, like your average game, like if you play like the Walker Assault or whatever, that 30 on 30 or whatever, or was it 20 on 20 or 25, whatever. It's a lot of people versus a lot of people. You don't even get 1,000 of those points. And Vader was worth how much?
I
like
think
7,500 or 79,000 or something like that.
Yeah, I think somewhere around there.
Some huge number. Like when you play normal Walker Assault, like you get maybe like 600, 700 points. And it's just, that's like a 25-minute experience. So I don't know, man. It just seems like a mess all around. And I think, while they are trying to fix things, I don't think they're going to fix the solutions to where they're going to make this game. I don't think they can fix it too much at this point. I think all they can do is make their problems less of a major problem.
It's basically firefighting now. I mean, the damage is done.
Yeah, it's a shame too.
It is a shame because you don't. There's just so much ill will towards this game, and strictly speaking, it's not even released yet, even though there's tons of people playing it. But hey ho, right? We'll move on from that.
One last thing. I'm sorry. This is the kind of stuff that's going to burn people out on Star Wars more than anything. This assumption that Star Wars fans are just in it for the shit, just in it for, like the souvenirs, the
Porgs,
the toys, the games, the comics. They're just in it for Star Wars shit over actual Star Wars content. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I could turn around and probably point to 4 things that are Star Wars that's right behind me right now. We do like our Star Wars shit, but this direct assumption that we'll throw money at anything, I mean, clearly that's what they're taking advantage of here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they were basically go on, Kelsey.
There's also a social aspect to loot boxes as well that a lot of people don't really consider. I know that they've decided that loot boxes aren't like gambling, but they are very much attributed to an addictive personality.
Oh,
yeah. And people who need to have the best. And it's just not unfair, but for me, let's say when I played the first Battlefront, it was very annoying for me to constantly be the burden of a specific mission or whatever, because I don't spend a lot of time, like especially in multiplayer kind of games. And to have even another thing to like put me in the back burner, like I don't plan on playing a lot of multiplayer. Like I'll definitely try it. But the part of this game, like going with what you said, is the story. Like I'm more interested in the campaign part of it than the multiplayer as a Star Wars fan. So it's not only touching upon like what they believe Star Wars people want and like buying everything that is Star Wars. It's more like attracting those people who need everything and who have addictive personalities, and that's especially what it's targeting, because it's random, it's chance, and there's a part that is exciting no matter what people want to admit about it, that it's a chance. And so like I'm just so tired of this like loot box rhetoric that all these companies are doing, and like this is just one more that it makes me roll my eyes.
Yeah, and this year's been especially bad for it. I mean, with like Shadow of War, you could buy loot crates. Like I said, Assassin's Creed you can, and it's just getting silly. And like, it's just like you say, it's just sort of preying on those people who do like want everything in the game, and they want it quickly, and it, you know, they want that risk reward thing of like having that, you know, I might get something great out of this, and then when they open it, they might not, and they'll be like, oh, just one more, and it's just it's underhand, and I don't like it. Like I appreciate the fact that they're giving us content for free on the back of it, but they should have looked at Overwatch and gone, right, those guys are giving people stuff for free. They have a loot box and in-game economy in that game, and people spend a lot of money on it because they don't really thrust it upon you. Like they admitted it was a bit weird with like you getting a lot of duplicates, and they've addressed that. So people spend the money on the game just purely out of goodwill because they treat the fan base right. And it's, you know, it's just getting a bit too much now.
It's a 2 steps forward, 1 step back thing. They clearly don't want to solve. I mean, when Battlefront 1 came out, there's no campaign. People, they solved that problem by, okay, we'll give you this, but we're going to take this back too, to where, you know, I mean, I guess we're currently falling for it right now, talking about it, where it's just like, you know, obviously we care. We want this to be good. When Battlefront 3 comes out, because it definitely will, we're going to see, you know, what thing did they make awesome, and what thing did they compromise on that annoys us this time. Yeah. So instead of just giving us a total package, because they know when they give us a total package, you know, well, what's more to buy?
Yeah, exactly. So right.
That might be conspiracy theorist, but I don't know. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. I just want to spend $60 and play a game. That's all I want to do. That's all I want to do.
Okay, we'll put a pin in that one.
Deep in it.
Yeah.
Like dissection style. Just
watch it burst. So the second bit of poopy news, and we will call this the poopy news section. The official Talking Games designation for it. Disney have shut down Gazillion Entertainment's Marvel Heroes game, which is the MMO. It's been out on PC, I think, 5 years, and PlayStation 9 months
this year,
maybe, Sam? Yeah,
I think April this year, maybe.
So the statement was very short. It says, "We regret to inform our Marvel Heroes fans that we have ended our relationship with Gazillion Entertainment and that the Marvel Heroes games will be shut down. We would like to sincerely thank the players who joined the Marvel Heroes community and will provide any further updates as they become available." So around all of this, I like reading the article on Kotaku. Like apparently there was like quite a few rounds of layoffs at Gazillion. But with everything else that company have got going on, because I think they might be the company that oversees Star Trek Online as well. So they've got like their fingers in other pies as well. So I don't think they're like circling the pan as a company in that respect. But apparently there was a lot of like accusations of sexual harassment within the company and stuff. So reading between the lines, it looks like Disney have more or less deemed that their relationship with that company is no longer viable. Sam, as well, undoubtedly the person who's put the most time into this game, how are you feeling? Like, it's disappointing. I'm disappointed. I haven't played the game for ages, but I'm disappointed. It's a shame because it's a fun game.
So this just completely blows my mind. Like, I can't even fathom like how this happened. I mean, it takes into question like the reliability of any game that you play that's like an ongoing game like this. I'm like, what if for whatever reason just like Bungie has problems and they decide to shut down Destiny 2? You know, I mean, more people play that, but like what is that? Marvel Heroes, it's been out here, people have been playing it, they've been putting money into it. I mean, it hasn't even been out a year on PS4 and they just all of this sudden shut it off. I'm like, okay, so first, like, if they've got an agreement with Disney Marvel, like, how did they just break their agreement? I'm sure it didn't just suddenly run out. It didn't run out like 9 months after they launched on PS4. I guess they had to, I don't know. And I mean, I would think Disney would try to buy out gazillions property of it so that they could keep the game going because people love this game and it was a lot of fun. And to just all of a sudden take it away, I don't know. I'm not making any sense because it doesn't make any sense in my head. I can't understand this.
They did it recently with Avalanche, or not recently, but a few years ago with Infinity. I mean, I know Toys for Life games now are kind of dead, but at the time that Disney shut down that, they were still, you know, they weren't dying on the pegs like other toys for video game stuff were going out. I don't know. Disney's weird. They will. I mean, they shut down LucasArts. They shut down other game companies that they're tied to because they just don't. It's very bottom line, I guess, with a company like Disney. And if they can't see, it's not about keeping a steady income. I think if they can't see, you know, an opportunity for it to constantly get better or something, they cut it out. And they've done it. They do this quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, and I don't think the fact that like there's been a lot of occasions recently where Gazillion have let the players of that game down with like promising new content and events and stuff, and it just didn't happen. And like, you know, it's reading between the lines and it's speculation that the whole sort of, you know, the accusations at the company and the fact that they've been so lax with things that have been the cause of this. But you know, like you say,
and it's also possible that this has been coming and they knew it's been coming, so they're not putting any resources behind it, and that's why nothing's been happening. Yeah. They knew it was coming, so there was no point.
That's a good point. I mean,
starve it out
wouldn't happen overnight. So that rounds up talking games poopy news.
We can find more.
No,
it's horrible stuff happening all over the place.
Let's turn this into a morose podcast. Let's go into happy news where games are going to be celebrated. So this week saw the announcement of the 2017 Game Awards nominees. And I think, unsurprisingly, this year is going to be like a stellar year in terms of just like nominations and winners. Like pretty much every game that is going to be nominated for this awards show is probably going to be an incredible video game. So I'll run through I'll sort of cherry pick the big categories. So nominees for the Game of the Year are Horizon Zero Dawn, Persona 5, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, Super Mario Odyssey, and The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Apparently,
and one thing that surprised me here on this one was Persona 5. Like, this is kind of the first time I've heard it's kind of getting discussed as a game of the year. I mean, I'm playing it and it's fun, but I'm just like, huh.
It was like really, really well critically received.
A lot of people like in general like Persona, and I think this one was like it really took the cake. Like I think a lot of people really did enjoy it, and I do find it weird, but I also find it weird that like a game that hasn't even been released is also on it, right? Because PUBG, it hasn't been released either, right? It's just the beta.
But I feel like PUBG
it's
is
going
like
to be.
I agree. I agree. I think a lot of people played it, and I thought it was released for the longest time, and then I heard that it wasn't, and I was like, "What the hell?" And so like I understand. It hasn't been released yet. It's not even at its best. Like shouldn't it get a chance when it's like at its best? I don't know.
Right. And does this mean next year when it is, does it get another shot? Because it is officially it's strange, right?
Or are people going to be like, oh, it's already been out a year, why are we still talking about it?
I mean, there are a lot of game awards do have awards for ongoing games, which this award show does. So you'll see nominations in there. There's old games, but I mean, PUBG has 20 million plus players. It's broken the record numerous times for like concurrent players on Steam. That game is like, it's the breakout hit of the year. I mean, when you consider this game that is still in early access, and came out of nowhere, has I think like 10 million players less than Overwatch, which you can get on every platform. It's a big game. It's big.
Well, then Hugh, explain it to me. Then why is it not released?
It's close.
Because it seems like they're getting their cake and eating it too.
They've 1.0 went on the test server this week. In fact, I think it went on yesterday. So we're looking at I think it's due out mid-December for Xbox One. So I wouldn't be surprised around the time it's released for Xbox One, we get like version 1.0 and its full release for PC around the same time. Because right now they're testing massive optimization for the game, the vaulting system, and so on and so forth. So we're not far.
This game's been talked about since what, April?
Yeah. I mean,
it just seems crazy that it's not released yet.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the thing. I mean, I've been playing Dead Cells for like months and months and months, which is it's probably in my top 10 of the year, actually. That's still in early access as well. And it's just the way like Steam games work these days. It's a bit of a funny platform, early access. So moving on, best game direction: Horizon Zero Dawn, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, Super Mario Odyssey, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and Wolfenstein 2 The New Colossus. I think actually I read somewhere that Nintendo are the most nominated developer.
I'd believe it, because a lot of stuff it's going to have both of those games.
They're killing it this year.
I actually like did a bit of a like, you know, clenched my fist. I was like, yes, Nintendo. Yeah, they're back big time this year. I'll go with best narrative because story and games matter, regardless of what you say, Sam.
What? I talk about how wonderful the story is in Horizon Zero Dawn.
I'm pulling you.
Sam's a little pissed off that Mario's nominated for so many things.
I'm happy that for almost everything that Mario's nominated for, Zelda is as well, because then they can split the vote and Horizon can win. So it's all good to me.
Oh, that's a good point.
I think I know which I think I know which way that direction swings.
Hey man,
I know, but
fine.
So best narrative: Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, Horizon Zero Dawn. There's that again. Nier Automata, What Remains of Edith Finch, I love that game, and Wolfenstein 2 The New Colossus. So some great games in there. Best art direction: Cuphead, I personally think should probably walk this category myself. Destiny 2, that one I'm a bit like, it's a good looking game but nothing spectacular. Horizon Zero Dawn, Persona 5, and The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Persona 5 just oozes cool.
Yeah,
that game is just so it's groovy. That's the best.
All of those games except for Destiny, I can kind of see a fair.
Destiny's a weird one on there for me because I just don't see how, like, it's a great looking game, but yeah.
Well, when it came out, a lot of people were like very into the art. I saw a lot of screenshots for the game, so I can understand why it would be put in that category, because I think when it came out, everybody was like thoroughly impressed.
I guess
it certainly seems to have. Sorry, go ahead.
I guess for me, it's a law of diminishing returns because the aesthetic is kind of, similar to me having put like hundreds of hours into the original Destiny. I guess it's kind of, the law of diminishing returns. But yeah, no doubt a lot of effort and craft went into the.
Well, probably a lot of people too like got into the game this year as well because they heard such good things about the first one. True. So the art might not look used and old to them because it was probably very impressive to like newer players.
Well, from what I understand, it looks and it sounds as if it has a lot more personality than the first Destiny.
By leaps and bounds. Yeah, so it's like in that respect, it's massively superior to the first one.
I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm harping on Zelda, but I mean, there's moments in that game that are absolutely stunning. Yeah, especially for given what it is and what platform it's on.
Yes,
but
I agree. It's a gorgeous game. Best score or music: Cuphead, Destiny 2, Nier Automata, Persona 5, Super Mario Odyssey, and The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. That is a stacked category.
I know some of these are so tough.
You could put a cigarette paper between those ones. Like
Persona.
I love the music in all of those games. Although I haven't played Nier Automata, I've heard
I had to vote for that one because that one gets stuck in my head the most. It's just so memorable for me.
I love the Cuphead soundtrack as well.
My friend loves the Persona soundtrack, and I'm with him. With that category, it just, as far as things that I have heard and stuff, I have. But Cuphead does have a really amazing soundtrack too. Yeah, okay.
The Cuphead soundtrack is so cool, so cool.
Yep.
And it's different as well, which is one thing I really like.
Yeah.
Best audio design: Destiny 2, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, Super Mario Odyssey, and The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. I guess in terms of that's kind of like how well the audio in the game is used as opposed to like the score as such. I'm surprised that Star Wars Battlefront 2 isn't in there because the audio in that game is unsurprisingly awesome given how it's Star Wars. But that being said, that is another stacked category. Like, I've played about 2 hours of Hellblade, and the way they use sound in that game is so clever.
Yes, I mean, it's hands down Hellblade for me, but
yeah, I think in terms of in terms of sound as a facet of the game,
exactly.
I agree with you there, Sam. I don't see how it could be anything else.
I haven't played Hellblade, but just by what I've heard about it, like I think that alone, it's just a masterful use of sound. Yes. Like it's an aspect that you don't expect going in, and then it surprises you, and it works so well with the narrative that I just think on that alone, that creative way of using sound is win-worthy in a way.
Yes.
Yes.
So sorry, but Zelda, when you're fighting in Zelda and you have that and like when you're about to deal in like the death blow, and when they do things like time music to your fight so it naturally ends when you defeat something, that's also a pretty uncanny thing.
That is clever, yeah, but I'll be devil's advocate and say that like audio cues, music cues in video games aren't anything new.
Sure, that's
true. In Hellblade, the audio in terms, because you've got voices like that game you need to play it with headset on.
Yes.
You've got multiple voices going on, and they're coming from all angles. They sound like they're above you, below you, to your left, to your right. They're all over the place, and they're constantly like speaking to you. And in terms of like it's an actual, I guess you could say, mechanic in the game. And I think in terms of like it actually being a part of the game itself, I think Hellblade, from what I've played, wins. But I agree.
I can't really back Mario's horse. I'm on this one. I can't.
It doesn't have a horse in the
fair
game,
enough.
that's why.
I can't back his Yoshi.
Best performance, I think this one is going to be walked by Ashley Birch for Aloy in Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, so this is performance by like a voice actor or something?
Yes. Brian Bloom for Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus is BJ Blazkowicz. Claudia Black in Uncharted The Lost Legacy is Chloe Fraser. Laura Bailey in Uncharted The Lost Legacy is Nadine Ross. The back and forth between those two in that game is cool. And Melina Jurgens in Hellblade as Senua.
And she was fantastic. So I mean, she's really putting up a fight in that category because what she did was amazing.
That is
Let's just say that out of the 5, like there were 4 women, so I think that's fantastic as well. That we had so many strong female characters this year.
Ashley Birch as Aloy, like the way she delivers the sass.
Yes, I love it.
So
oh, it's so fantastic.
Like, she's just like, she's a badass, but she's absolutely like, she's really endearing as well.
I'm so happy for her. In college I used to watch Hey Ash playing all the time. Her little web comedy that she had with her brother, and it's so nice that she's like, her star has just grown and grown and grown.
Yeah, right. Okay, we'll skip a few.
Is there any kind of like lifetime achievement or Hall of Fame kind of? Usually it's these things like to throw one of those out there.
I'll do this category because it's like games that actually like have an impact on you. Funnily enough, because it's called the Games for Impact category. Bury Me, My Love, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, Life is Strange Before the Storm, Night in the Woods, Please Knock on My Door, and What Remains of Edith Finch. I've not played a couple of the games on there, but that, again, the games I have played on there are all very affecting.
Yes. Yep. That's a tough one as well.
Yeah. Best ongoing game, Destiny 2, Grand Theft Auto Online, Overwatch, PUBG. I don't understand how that's in there. Rainbow Six Siege and Warframe. We'll move on. Skip that. Most of them are just specific sort of genre-based categories, so we'll skip those. Most anticipated game, God of War, Marvel Spider-Man, Monster Hunter World, Red Dead Redemption 2, and The Last of Us Part 2.
I always hate this kind of category. It's so weird.
Yeah, me too. I was going to say, that's so weird.
Like
it's just like a popularity contest.
Exactly, because if old Battlefront 2 hasn't taught us anything, you know, it just seems a really weird thing to start celebrating a game before. I mean, some of those games don't even release dates. Yeah. That sounds more like a trade show E3 kind of thing.
Like the best of E3.
Yeah. That's reasonable there, I feel, but this is strange.
So yeah, as you can no doubt tell, there are there's a lot of categories I skipped in it just to.
But God of War, by the way, I'm just one I'm more excited about. So
we know how you like buff men in loincloths, Matt.
Sure. Yeah.
But I mean, who doesn't really?
Yeah, who doesn't, to be fair.
Well, you don't?
Also, he's a dad.
It's the beard for me. It's the beard.
I like his package. So, moving on from that, Matt's looking really confused now I said that.
I just want to know how we define package now.
His junk, dude. His junk.
Okay. All right. Just making sure.
His loot box.
Hey. I'm not. Well, I'd pay for that DLC. Okay.
It's a gamble.
Kelsey, speak to us about the horror that is going on in Pokemon right now.
I'm glad you referred to it as a horror because it truly is. I don't know how many people know a lot about Pokemon. This is a pretty standard fact. There was only one Pokemon besides legendaries that spoke, okay? And it was Meowth. And he was a gift to everyone, and we need to check what.
Oh dear.
Holy shit.
Mewtwo could speak telepathically.
Okay, I'm not talking about the powerful ones. I'm saying like the average Joes.
Okay,
Okay?
sorry. I'm sorry.
Like
The small
Squirtles.
guys.
Meow.
Meow was the only one. And he has a sad story about how he learned. Okay, and I cried. Now, to get back to the topic. Pokemon I Choose You is I think it's the 20th anniversary movie that was screening nationwide this week or last week. And a lot of people were disturbed by a certain scene.
Oh no, I know where this is going.
Pokemon
So in
sex.
the scene, what?
Nothing. Carry on.
Okay, that's what I thought. So in the scene, basically, Ash and Pikachu are teaming up. Ash gets chosen for the hero, and they enter a battle. Ash is not prepared. At the end of the battle, they all try to protect Ash, and then
Spoilers.
he tries to protect Pikachu. It's a 20-year-old movie. It's remade.
Okay.
They all try to protect Pikachu. No, he tries to protect Pikachu, and then Pikachu speaks. And I don't know if you guys seen the video. It's hilarious. I don't know if I could play it. Like, I just want you, like, people's reaction to, like, literally, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Like, the
sure.
audience is like,
The whole
what
theater is
is
just
this?
like, what?
What the hell?
You need to share this with us immediately.
Okay, because I have the video. I don't know if it'll sound right.
Just Send a
yeah.
link.
He's kind of like, hey, Ash, you okay,
No,
bro?
he doesn't sound like that at all. He sounds like a little baby.
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
hold
that's
on.
This is good radio.
Can you share it? I want to see this. I need to hear it in high fidelity, hi-fi.
It's not in
You
hi-fi
missed
anyway.
it.
Somebody recorded it on their phone in the cinema.
What do I search on my YouTubes?
Hold on, I'm gonna send it.
So
Hold on.
yeah, that
I just want to
basically
know your thoughts.
freaked people out.
Hugh, I need to hear
a
this.
hell of a lot.
Don't transition away from this. I need to hear.
This isn't
I
fun
have-
for people to listen to. Right, Kelsey, send it to Matt. Matt, listen to it, and then we'll come back to it later.
That's reasonable. That's reasonable.
So, Sam, speak to us about crazy ass fighting game crossovers, please.
Okay.
For
All
the
right,
love of
guys.
God.
So there's stuff going on. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are going to be added as playable characters in Injustice 2, which is pretty awesome. And then
Not bad.
also, Noctis, I think, from Final Fantasy is getting added to Tekken 7, which I don't know much about either of those, but it's just like, hey, something exciting that you wouldn't expect. So here's the thing. All these different characters are going in games where you wouldn't expect them. So my question for all of you was, what character or whatever would you like to see added to a fighting game that you would not expect to be there?
Scooby-Doo.
I like it. He powers up with Scooby Snacks before he goes into battle. Wait, which game would he go into?
Yeah. Injustice. I would put
Okay,
him there.
okay. All right.
I think he'd do well.
Warner
And that
Brothers
makes
owns him.
sense. Yeah, because like DC and like
These are the
Scooby Doo, I think
crossovers.
they've had crossovers. Yeah.
Oh,
in the
Yeah,
comics.
exactly.
They should put Elmer Fudd in as well.
Yeah.
That would be brilliant. You could just
He had
be there
that
with,
good
like,
comic
a double-barrel
this year.
shotgun.
Did you read Elmer Fudd and Batman, that comic that came out this
Yeah.
year?
It was surprisingly good.
It was really good.
Matt, did you have someone? Oh, I'm sorry, Hugh.
Hey, go ahead, Hugh.
I would like maybe someone like Judge Dredd.
Ooh.
That would be pretty cool, I reckon.
That would be good in Injustice.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
I was thinking.
I got
Oh,
nothing.
go ahead,
for
Matt.
it, Sam. I got nothing.
All right. Well, I was gonna say if we're gonna go crazy, let's put Xena Warrior Princess in Injustice. It'd be
Yeah.
fantastic.
Her thrown down with Wonder
Yeah.
Woman.
She would do that yay thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm into that. Well, then I'll put Kevin Sorbo Hercules now on.
That thought did cross my mind. Oh, I know. They should put the tick in there.
Oh.
But it has to be classic tick. I don't want that Amazon series.
No. Classic,
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Did you guys ever watch Danny Phantom? It was a Nickelodeon show.
No.
Nah, I was in college.
We were kids a lot. A lot longer ago than you.
I was voting and buying cigarettes.
I think he'd be cool too.
Who else could you have? Godzilla.
Godzilla. He would just like destroy everybody and like just step on them.
You're damn right he would.
He's been in fighting games before and they're not good.
Yeah, that's true.
That's crazy. He should be unbeatable. I don't even understand.
Well, he fights other Godzilla monsters.
Oh, okay.
I don't think there's ever been a good Godzilla movie, to be fair.
Whoa. You're saying there hasn't been a good Godzilla movie?
Movie, game.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
Okay. I was going to say,
we almost had a fighting game of our own
it's
here.
It's because I'm looking at my Godzilla DVDs.
Yeah, there's plenty of good Godzilla movies.
Oh, yeah. Don't get me wrong.
Godzilla's cool.
I've had many a lengthy conversation with Bob Ryer about Godzilla movies.
Yeah, Godzilla kicks ass. I think it would be fun to have. There are like certain movie characters that I think would be fun in video games. Like I know this is kind of a cliche, but like Ash from Evil Dead is always fun.
Yes, that would be
good. Agent Del Cooper from Twin Peaks, and that'll just be existential, and he'll just confuse all the other characters.
Cool. That's fair enough. Anybody else got anything?
I'm just waiting for Pikachu's voice. That's all I'm waiting for.
Oh God!
I sent it in the Discord.
Where?
Of this call.
Oh!
How dare you accuse me?
I don't know how this works. I'm sorry.
Jeez. Okay. Sam also has some quick hits.
Just exciting news for you guys. There's some fun free stuff going on for you. So Blizzard just announced, or just I guess made it live, StarCraft 2 everyone can play for free on PC. So I've never played that game, but hey, it's free now. Let's all go check it out. This weekend only, Overwatch is having a free weekend, and Rainbow Six Siege is having a free weekend. Normally, if you were on PS4 or Xbox with those, you would still have to have your subscription to do online gaming. But if you're a PS4 person, this weekend only, you can play online for free without having to have your PS Plus membership. So you can take advantage of these 2 free game previews that you might not have normally gotten to. So, that's just some fun stuff you can do this weekend, because I'm sure, you guys don't have any new games to play, because, nothing cool has come out in a while, so you might as well just take advantage of these free games. Have a good time.
And the chance to play both Overwatch and Rainbow Six Siege for free, go for it. If you've never played those games, I highly recommend them. They're, I guess, 2 sides of the same coin, really, but markedly different from the other. They're both first-person shooters, but team-based, but very, very different from each other. So if you like first-person shooters and you're looking for something, then either or both of those will probably be your cup of tea.
I would put Tim Horton in Smash Brothers.
I would play that.
He would throw little Timbits at people.
No, he would hockey hit him. He would.
Oh, well, I guess.
Flash?
His ultimate would be the Timbits, and he'd throw so many, and people would just be like, "Oh my god, I have to eat these!" So they would just stop and eat them all up, and then get fat and not be able to fight. So
I don't know what they serve at a Canadian restaurant. Pine cones? I don't know. Ham that you call bacon?
Canadian bacon, thank you.
Who doesn't call bacon bacon?
Although we have bacon. Americans. See, this is another stereotype.
Americans have that weird bacon where it's like a thin line of meat and then fat. Like streaky bacon isn't bacon, dude. It should mostly be meat, not fat.
Oh no, I agree.
Yeah, American.
It's not like we celebrate that. It's just our pigs.
Well, you might do on your Thanksgiving Day. Weird thing.
Turkey. It's turkey.
Yeah.
That's going to be the national bird.
You put bacon on turkey to keep it moist. It's true. It's the thing.
Hey.
Look it up. Nigella
Cooking
Lawson
tips
did
from
it.
Hugh.
Yeah, Nigella Lawson did it. But she's also usually high on cocaine, so there's that. Right, so we shall do a quick listener question. We have one from... Actually, let's do both of these quickly. So at the JFA says, you're all fans of comics and other pop culture, movies, books, etc. What IP that's never been turned into a video game would you like to see made into a game? What type of game would it be? And what developer would you choose to make it? My one, strictly speaking, is a bit of a cheat. Because they have had video games in the past and one fairly recently, but I really want there to be a good third-person action-adventure Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. And I would probably put it in the hands of Naughty Dog just to trust them with a good story. So that would be my personal pick. I want a good TMNT game.
Right, Ninja Turtles.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would do Animal Farm.
Porn film? That's gross.
What?
Come on.
There's a porn film called Animal Farm?
Let's not talk about that. Wait,
Stop.
move on.
You're disturbing me. I would do Animal Farm because I think it would be cool to play one of the farm animals, but like a Telltale game. Like every time you say something to the head pig, and he's like, Napoleon will remember that. And it's like, shit.
Yeah.
I just fucked up. And then I think it would be really cool.
You can choose like what sort of socio-political sort of mindset you subscribe to.
George Orwell was not some HBO comic. Cursing. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
It would teach a lesson. Not a lot of people like reading classics. And it could put this classic on a twist.
It's a good point. It's a very good point.
I like that idea. Get it made, Kelsey. Get it done. Stop messing around learning stuff. Go and develop some video games for us. Also, Matt doesn't seem to be quick with any decent suggestions, and he's trying to poo-poo yours, Kelsey.
I got one, you guys. Okay.
Go for it, Sam.
Did any of you hear of the movie Doomsday that came out quite a while ago, many years ago? It's a fantastic movie because it has a little bit of everything. So it's kind of like a post-apocalyptic world. There's zombies, there's high-speed car chases, there's cannibals, there's people with knight armor and jousting horses type stuff. There's cybernetic eyes. So it's pretty much everything that would make an exciting action movie is all crammed into this movie. And I thought it worked all right. So I would love a game about Doomsday. And I would go ahead and have Ninja Theory do it because they did a fantastic job with Hellblade. They did a great job with Devil May Cry. That's all I've played from them, but they're high on my list. And I think they could really go crazy and have some fun with it. So that's my pick.
That does sound goofballs. I like the sound of that. Matt?
I know I gave Kelsey a hard time, but I would like an adaptation of To Kill a Mockingbird in the Ace Attorney style.
Yeah! Yeah!
What would it have like Scout? I don't know. It's easy to say Telltale but I don't know. I guess no. You remember that Bully game or that Rockstar game Bully?
Yes.
Okay. So Ace Attorney style for the court scenes. Your open sandbox game for Scouts adventures with finding Dill and Boo Radley and all kinds of other.
Wow. A cross-genre epic.
Exactly. Cool. It's a coming-of-age video game. Rated T for teen.
Nice.
With
Target exclusive content. Right. Okay.
Exactly. The DLC, the loot box is is buy more racist.
Yeah. Oh dear. I think the world's got enough of that right now. Exactly. Right. Sarah, who is at Geek Country Lady, I think, on Twitter. Sarah Miles. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Routinely gets scared by Sam. She says, I like Assassin's Creed, Dragon Age, and Borderlands, but don't fancy Assassin's Creed Origins right now. What should I be buying? One of us replied through the Talking Games account, jokingly saying Assassin's Creed Origins. And whilst that was, a bit pithy, I suppose, shall we say? I do agree. Like, if you like Assassin's Creed, then it's a very good one of those. But if you're not, man, I think if you like something like Dragon Age and Borderlands, maybe give Persona a try.
Yeah,
like
sounds right.
RPG. Possibly. I know it's a little bit like off the beaten track in terms of those, but
maybe a Yakuza.
Yeah, Yakuza. That wouldn't be a bad shout. Or Sleeping Dogs. That would probably be a good one. That's a very good video game and also very, very violent.
Yeah, those crimey games are
crimey.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going way off course with this specifically for Sarah because I think she should get Worms Battleground and then play it with me this weekend. So I'm just putting that out there. But if she's looking for a serious suggestion, if she's willing to go like back a little bit, like maybe like PS3 level, Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning was a fantasy adventure game, and it was like so much fun. And so I would recommend checking that out if you're feeling going back a little bit.
I think she does have a PS3.
I think even Ori and the Blind Forest, just by the terms of like what this seems to be like visually pleasing games that she's put. I think Ori and the Blind Forest would be like a game she might enjoy for art alone, and the game's really great at the same time.
Is it going to make her horribly sad, though? Just give her a little warning. Because I've heard that game's really sad.
Yes. I mean, if you like Borderlands, if you like first-person shooters with, like, loot and lots of stuff to shoot, it might be worth trying Destiny.
Yeah.
And
sure.
You won't be short of people to join.
Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yes. Spend stupid amounts of money on that game. Any other suggestions?
So this is one I'm thinking about. It doesn't really match too much of... I mean, it might, but... did any of y'all ever play L.A. Noire?
I haven't.
When it first came out.
Yeah. I've been ever since they announced on the Switch, that seems like a fun game. But no, I mean, I don't think it would really work as a suggestion because it's pretty story heavy and not at all like... I mean, the closest thing I think I could like to as far as what she listed was maybe elements of Assassin's Creed, but not at all like fighty or anything. Just kind of, I know it's a exploration type game, but just with a different setting.
Yes, it is. It's a great game though. is a very good
Well,
game.
and also if she has any interest, I don't know if she's played before any of the Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor, or if she wants to try out Shadow of War, because like I always said, Shadow of Mordor was my absolute favorite Assassin's Creed game ever. So
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, Shadow of Mordor is a very good game. Shadow of War, I gotta be honest, I was very, very disappointed in that game. I think probably maybe my disappointment of the year. But yeah, Shadow of Mordor, I agree that was a great game. Also, I don't know if Sarah has a Switch. I don't think she does, but Zelda would be a good shout. There's elements of pretty much everything in there,
especially Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, you can climb literally everything.
Yeah, I think Zelda's a good one, because I feel like it has everything that she's looking for. So like if she has a Switch, I think it would be actually like a perfect game.
Yeah,
I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head there, right?
And if you don't have a Switch, Sarah, buy a Nintendo Switch, because it's a very good console.
Hold on. If we're talking about perfect games, Sarah, why don't you just go play Horizon Zero Dawn? It's actually, I don't know if it's on sale right now, but on Black Friday, you'll be able to get that for like
I was going to suggest it. I wasn't sure if she played it.
That was a good
What are you guys picking up on Black Friday? I know that might be. I'm not gonna be on
Horizon Zero Dawn.
I'm going for Horizon. Nice. I'm gonna get Resident Evil 7.
Ooh, nice. You guys are making me so happy right now.
Might get Persona 5 too.
Yeah, I'm tempted on that.
That's a big undertaking.
I was going to get Wolfenstein, but I think I want to play that for this on the Switch. I'm hearing that Doom was really impressive on the Switch because it actually worked. So
it's got good reviews.
I kind of want to. I'm really in love with the Switch right now. You know,
it's cool.
I'm
looking for Assassin's Creed also.
So I think.
But I know it's coming out in like 2018.
Yeah, I'm just not sure how the second Wolfenstein, I'm just not sure how well it would work, especially in handheld. I'm just not sure how well it would work because it's quite a grandiose game in its like locations. But it's a great game. Like however you decide to play it because it's fantastic. Like that game is just all kinds.
It seems like those Bethesda games are like Bethesda knows how to make the Switch work from everything I've heard. So I don't know. I might be the game. I'll be the test subject on that. I want to buy Doom on the Switch. I just don't want to spend $60 on Doom.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, for a game that's been out for a while, when you consider when Rise of the Tomb Raider came out for PlayStation 4, there was, instead of that being a £50 game, I think it was 40, and there was more content in it than when it came out on Xbox One.
As it kind of should be.
As well as new stuff like for PSVR and stuff. So I think charging that much for it is a bit on the wrong side.
So is the way of Nintendo sometimes.
Yeah, they have a habit of doing odd things. Let's just say that. So right, we shall wrap this mother up right about here. You can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/talkinggamesvideos. You can find us on Twitch at twitch.tv/talkinggames. Cody, he started this Tuesday, will be streaming Tuesday to Saturday. Most Tuesdays to Saturday. He will be streaming this Saturday because Bobby and Justin will be streaming for Extra Life at around 8 p.m. EST for, he says, 1 to 2 hours. I asked him earlier on, so join in for that. So regular streaming is
I joined him on his first one last night. We played some Killing Floor 2. We had a lot of fun. I just want to say thank you to Mr. Fitzes, who was in the chat with us, helping us get some collectibles. We ended up getting 2 trophies last night, so That was fantastic.
Also cool. You can send us long-form messages at games@talkingcomicbooks.com. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/talkinggamespc. And we are on the Twitters at talking_games H_games. My personal Twitter is at H_Paz. Matt?
Johnny Matt Wood on both Twitter and Instagram.
Oh, the Insta. Kelsey?
Kelsamus, KELSSAMUS.
Thank you. Samwise?
I'm at SKSUVAK. And I just want to also mention, we've still got Extra Life going. Cody streamed last weekend, so thank you for everyone who donated for that. Thank you, Cody. And then Hugh, do you know what time Bobby is starting on Saturday for his stream?
Not sure. I think he's aiming to go for about 5 or 6 hours with Justin. Off the top of my head, I seem to remember about 5 p.m. Eastern.
I didn't remember if that was the start time or the end time.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll tweet it out and let everybody know. I'll ask Bobby, and we'll let people know in plenty of time.
And you can still donate, so I'll make sure to put the link in the show notes for that as well. So we appreciate everyone who's donated. You guys are fantastic.
Yeah, we've done incredibly this year. Like, I'm just massive thanks to everyone who's donated, and like some people have just been generous beyond like any of our expectations. So you can follow Cody at Comic Book Cody on Twitter. You can follow Bobby at Bobby Shortle, and Justin is Jorok, JOROAK.
God, I didn't think that one was going to make it out. Oh, that was tense.
Neither did I. I was like, crap, I forgot how to spell for a moment there. So, thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Kelsey.
Thank you, Hugh.
And thank you to all of you. Until next time, be good to one another.